Thank you everybody for joining us. And sorry, what do you want us to say?
My name is Rodrigo Mendoza Sanchez.
Hi, I'm Samantha Stratton. I graduated in 2011 from Dr. Audrey Morse's lab.
Hey everyone, I'm Josh Patel. I'm currently the CEO at Molecular Forecaster. I did my PhD with Nick Moitessier. I graduated in 2015. I then moved to San Francisco for a postdoc with Brian Scheuket at UCSF. I was there until mid-2018. Moved back to Montreal, where I'm from, and took over this spin-off company from Nick's lab. We're an in silico drug discovery software developer and service provider.
So I graduated in 2013, and I was co-supervised by Nicolas Moitessier and Jim Gleason. And after that, I have worked at Toronto Research Chemicals as research chemist. I did my postdoc with Andre Uden at University of Toronto. And then from there, I moved to a small biotech company that was a spin-off company from the research from Andre Uden's lab. I was there for 2 years until a bigger pharma acquired the company called Encycle. And that brought me back to Montreal, where I'm now a research officer at the Institute for Research in Immunology and Cancer that is affiliated to the University of Montreal, where I'm part of the biggest drug discovery unit in an academic setting in Canada. And it's been ongoing strong for 10 years, and it's been a wonderful ride so far.
I've bounced around the chemical industry a little bit, taking opportunities ranging from research chemist at a composite materials company in Ottawa. I have been a scale-up and technology transfer specialist in pharma. And now I am actually a project manager and subject matter expert for Chemi Engineering, which is a chemical engineering consulting firm in Campbellville, Ontario.
I think for me, one of the reasons why this was extremely important is because of how lost I was when I finished grad school and how I didn't really understand anything that was outside in terms of like how to do a proper CV, how to do anything about not even, for example, seeing people going into other fields or even staying within research and what the possibilities were.
I really wish I had the courage to reach out to somebody who had already graduated as a mentor to kind of guide me through the process, let me know what industry was like, but also let me know what kind of skills I needed and also how to set proper goals. And I think that's why something like this is so great, because we're able now with our experience to come back and to offer that to a new generation of chemists coming out of McGill.
When I graduated, I felt that at McGill Chemistry, there wasn't much connection to the industry outside of the academic institution. It felt like I had to go abroad to get a job. And I wanted, in hindsight, I think to help students today understand that that's simply not true anymore.
I think the best lesson that I've learned is invest a lot and invest early on skills that are essentially universal. Interpersonal skills like conflict resolution or project management skills, professional writing, how to properly delegate, which is not an easy skill to develop, and it's not something that we get to experience too much in grad school. So these, like I said, these skills are universal, and it makes the path easier.
So my answer is a bit different, I guess, because I didn't really explore the job market. So for all of you that are scared of doing that, there is an option for you. You can become an entrepreneur. And that way you create your own opportunities. There is an option for you if you don't think that kind of exploring the market is for you. We have a quickly growing entrepreneurship environment here in Montreal and throughout Canada, and really, depending where else you want to go, there are lots of opportunities for you to create your own interests.
I think for me, the biggest lesson is just to be humble, because even though I didn't know anything about the job market, there was a certain level of arrogance on my side. As if because I had graduated from McGill, the world owed me something. And then there was going to be someone waiting out there for me. And it was a hard realization when, clearly that was not true. And then you have to actually work through and start learning that everything is building relationships and everything is networking.
So I take a bit of a philosophy that every experience that we go through is a potential learning experience, and some are better and some are worse, but we can always take something out of them. And so my advice, I guess, that encapsulates all of that is like just chill. It doesn't mean don't work hard. It doesn't mean don't strive for the best that you can, but understand that no path is going to be the same. Other people around you are going to move quicker than you at certain times and move slower than you at other times. You'll find your way. Even if you're in not a great situation, you find a way out of it, learn what you didn't like about it, and then don't put yourself back in that position later. I think that that's the best advice I could give.
Be very good at writing. And the other one, I think, is don't be afraid to be vulnerable. And that one comes more in terms of asking people and not being afraid to just send a cold email about asking, for example, a particular career path, and then you have to bring certain vulnerability into the aspect, because it is like you don't know, you have doubts, you don't know what you want to do, and there's a lot of people out there that are willing to help, so many, and the only thing is you have to know how to ask for it, and you know how to and learn how to connect with these people. And some people prefer to do it by email, some people prefer to do it on the phone, some people prefer to have a one-on-one meeting whenever that is possible again. So it is, I think those would definitely be the two things that I would tell my younger self.
One of the bigger lessons I learned was that arrogance is not confidence, and self-deprecating humor is not humility. You researched, you work really hard, and you know it. Those of you who will defend will know your subject inside out. But you are also not the main expert on that subject. You don't know everything. The person you're talking to doesn't know everything. And to come into it like that is tough. It is important that you admit what you don't know. And I think that's something that we're all a little afraid to do, to say, hey, I don't know this, or I'm reaching out for help in it. The thing is, once you admit that you don't know something, it needs to be followed up with this enthusiasm to fill that knowledge gap. Don't make jokes about yourself because you're insecure about that knowledge gap. It just teaches people to treat you like that and to kind of question what you know. And that's not really how you want your colleagues to see you. It's fine with your friends, or you may argue with close colleagues, but not in a professional setting. And that is a tough lesson to learn, and I'm now imparting it to you.
From what I recall, I don't remember how the conversation started between me and Rodrigo. I know that I was interested in doing something with the department because it felt like this was a missed opportunity. I still have connection to McGill through our partnership with Nick's Lab, and the pervading understanding that like there was no jobs here was an issue. And so I don't remember how Rodrigo and I started talking about it. And then he was like, oh, Sam will be an amazing addition to this. Like, she's really into this and then wants to help out. So we had a chat. I remember sitting in Rodrigo's apartment. He made me either it was Mexican soup or tacos or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but we had a chat with Sam. And then we reached out to Chantal, who's like the hero in everybody's life. And Chantal mentioned to us that you all were working on something, and so we got in touch.
I would just like to add something in terms of the importance of networking in here. It all started because I had moved back to Montreal, and I remember now, we went to have a beer after work just to catch up how we were doing, and then we found that we had this common interest, and it was all because it's like, oh, you're back in town, let's go have a beer, let's catch up, and I think that's how it all started rolling.
Where I come in, well, really, Rodrigo and I tend to have deep philosophical discussions every now and then. I think at some point I had mentioned that, how interesting it is that we all end up in different places. And then I guess somehow I just nibbled my way in.
Thanks everyone for attending. I hope you enjoy the next 2 days, learn a lot, take as much in as you possibly can, and know that we're all here to try and help you. So don't be shy to continue, reaching out and following up with us. Good luck.